Traders, FX Pip Collector here. Today is Tuesday, February 24th, and this is my morning market breakdown of the US dollar pairs, including gold and a couple of the yen pairs. So as always, we start off with the US dollar index, and to me, it still looks very likely like this is a wave A, this is a wave B, and potentially we're already in a wave C. Now, that doesn't mean that it potentially couldn't go down on sort of time frames before it goes up. It could end up doing something like this. But I think overall, on the daily time frame, I definitely still need to continue to be bullish. There's no engulfing move to the downside, or there's no other reason to think that it's actually going down in any significant way. But on the sort of time frames, this is where I do see the possibility as it could end up pushing down because I mean it definitely looks very impulsive, and this move up is looking a little corrective. It went right to the 78% Fibonacci. If it bounces from a fib level and breaks structure, which it hasn't done yet, then that probably is going to end up going down and making like a wave C. This would be like your wave A over here, this would be your wave B, and this would be your wave C, and then it will probably end up continuing the higher time frame trend. And if that happens, you would have to apply that information to all the US dollar pairs themselves and trade accordingly. But the whole thing is that the trend is definitely up on the daily. The trend is definitely up. So if it does not break to the downside at a fib level, but instead keeps making higher lows, then there's no reason to start sorting the dollar on any of the dollar pairs themselves. So keeping that in mind, let's move on to the euro dollar. Let's go back up to the daily time frame. Now the thing is a lot of these dollar pairs really do look like they are getting ready to make a wave up for either a C, which would look like this, and this would be like an A, B, C to the downtrend, or potentially it does look like it could possibly just end up continuing the uptrend. The thing is that the market really has not proven that to be true yet. We don't have engulfing up. We do not have a break of structure up. This could potentially just end up being a little pullback within a downtrend. Just like I said, the dollar index, if the dollar index does not break down, then there's no reason to think that this will break up. Now, going down to the sort of time frames is where I got my 1 hour time frame Fibonacci level set up on the last impulsive move to the upside, as you can see. Now, if it starts breaking structure, just like the dollar index, if it starts breaking structure to the upside on these sort of time frames at a Fibonacci retracement level, then we definitely want to become bullish. Otherwise, anything we see to the upside, we do have to realize it could just be a pullback within the higher time frame downtrend. The trend is definitely still down on the daily. The trend is definitely still up on the dollar index. The trend is your friend. Our job is not to identify the bottom and the top of a trend. Our job is to trade the continuations of these pullback entries. So going down to the pound dollar, the pound is gaining a little bit of strength today, as you can see, and like I said, a lot of these dollar pairs really do look like they could go up and make a wave C before they potentially go down like this, or potentially just continue the higher weekly time frame uptrend. The thing is that this also has not broken to the upside yet, and it definitely still could be just a pullback within the downtrend. I would prefer to allow the market to tell me that it's going up, and it definitely hasn't told me that it's going up yet. Going down to the 1 hour time frame, it is definitely a little impulsive. It definitely is turning at the 61% Fibonacci retracement of here. But this literally could just be an A, B, C, and it could just keep on going down later on today. So be careful assuming that this is going up. In my opinion, this is not really a break of structure on the lower time frames, and in my opinion, there's definitely no reason on the daily yet to say that this is going up. Anything you see to the upside definitely could still be just a pullback within the downtrend. Moving on to the Aussie dollar, like I've been saying, the Aussie is a little different just because the Aussie's been so strong. Technically, the Aussie is still in an uptrend. Technically, this move down could still be a pullback within the higher time frame uptrend. But this also really hasn't given us any reason to be that bullish yet. I mean, it really is kind of a sideways market for the last week or so. Going down to the 1 hour time frame, I mean, we do definitely have a very impulsive move up, and we do have a very overlapping pattern to the downside. So if it does, bounce from the 61 or potentially the 78%, go up and break structure, then it definitely could end up continuing the higher time frame uptrend. The thing is it really hasn't even done that yet. Even on the 1 hour time frame, it hasn't broken up yet. So this little push up right here could make another lower high, and it could push down to like the 61 or the 78%, and it could go up and make another lower high and just keep on pushing down. The trend is up on the daily time frame, so this is why I think this one's a little difficult, because the trend is up. Lower time frames are making you think that it's bearish, which it definitely is still bearish. Higher time frames are definitely still up, which means it could just break to the upside and it could just keep on trending up. which is why if you allow the market to tell you what to do next, you should be trading in the right direction. If you allow the market to break structure, then you start looking for longs on breaks of structure. That's you allowing the market to tell you what to do. If it doesn't break structure, but instead makes a lower high, just keeps on pushing down, then on these sort of time frames, you would just continue to look for shorts. Moving on to the US dollar CAD, a lot of these dollar pairs, like I said, do look like they are getting ready to make a push down. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they did go down before they went back up. And this is the daily time frame, so if the daily goes down for several days, that is some pretty decent trades on sort of time frames. But there's no engulfing down, there's no break of structure to the downside at a fib level. Odds are pretty good that it just keeps on going down to the up to the 100% for a wave C and then does this, or potentially it goes up and just keeps making higher highs, higher lows, and never engulfs or breaks to the downside, and eventually goes up and makes a big old wave three. I definitely am still recommending longs. I mean, I really don't see any reason yet to do anything besides look for longs. Anything we see to the downside, we still need to kind of assume there's just a pullback within an uptrend. If it starts breaking structure on the 1 hour time frame, I would throw my Fibonacci retracement on the whole move up, and I would still be looking at anything I see to the downside as potentially just a pullback within an uptrend. It doesn't even really have to break structure. I mean, it could make another higher low. It could make another higher low. It could just keep on pushing up. Higher time frame trends are definitely your friend, and the higher time frame trends are definitely still up. Moving on to the US dollar Swiss. The Swiss is moving a little bit today, and it's more because of the Swiss than the dollar. But this is just like I've been saying for over a week now. This is either an A or a 1, this is either a B or a 2, and we're either in a wave C, which I think would potentially look something like this, and then go down for a wave C, or it's a wave 3, and it just keeps on making higher highs, higher lows, and eventually goes up and breaks structure. Just like the other dollar pairs, there's no engulfing down at a Fibonacci level. There's no breaker structure down at a Fibonacci level. Until it actually proves that it's going down, we are definitely still very bullish. Now, the sort of time frames, like pretty much all the dollar pairs, the sort of time frames make you think that it's going to go down counter trend. And this definitely looks like a possible A. This definitely looks like 3 ways up for a possible B. Maybe it really is going to just keep on going down before it actually goes up. Definitely would make sense if that's how it played out. But there's no proof of that yet. The higher time frames are telling us to look for longs. So if it bounces from if any one of these fib levels starts engulfing to the upside, I would definitely go long. There's a chance that this is actually the ABC right here, and it just goes down to like the 61, 50%, maybe 78%, and just keeps on trending up. So going down to gold, gold is very bullish also. Like I've been saying, the next real area of resistance for me is now the 78%. So even if it does push down on sort of time frames, I would definitely assume that that's just a pullback within an uptrend. And the thing is with gold is that we still do not have proof that this wave 3 is over on the weekly and the daily. There is a chance that gold on the daily time frame makes a higher low, goes to the 78, makes a higher low, and just goes up and makes new all-time highs on the daily time frame. And especially with something like gold, you really need to realize that the trend is your friend. Gold is one of the strongest uptrends on the weekly, monthly time frame, pretty much this decade. Going down to the 1 hour time frame, I mean, if it breaks to the downside on the 1 hour, then throw your Fibonacci retracement on the whole move up. But it hasn't broken to the downside yet, so this move up, down could be a pullback to this last 5 waves up. So if it does, bounce from the 78% or really any fib level and make a higher low, then definitely continue to look for longs. Like I said, my next big area of resistance on gold is the 78%, and that's right around 5,342. So that means that anything I see to the downside on the 1 hour time frame, I am definitely looking at as nothing more than a possible pullback within the higher time frame uptrend. So moving on to the US dollar yen. Dollar yen, like I've been saying, all the other yen pairs, it's either now in a pullback to this move down, meaning that we're going to bounce from now to 61 to the 78%, and then they'll making a lower high and continuing the downtrend, or it's not, or it potentially is not going to break to the downside, and it's just going to keep on making higher highs, higher lows. Going down to the 1 hour time frame, we do not have a break to the downside at a fib level. So what's that mean? That means that anything we see to the downside, we have to look at as possibly just a pullback within the higher time frame uptrend. The next big area of resistance for me is the 78%, which is right around the 156.5 area. So we would have our Fibonacci retracement just on the last impulsive up. we would be watching our Fibonacci retracement levels, and we would still be looking for longs on pullbacks. And moving on to the euro again, basically the exact same thing. The euro again is either now in a pullback to this last move down, meaning that it's going to bounce from a fib level, break structure, and then continue the downtrend, making a lower high, or it's never going to break structure at a fib level, and it's going to make higher highs, higher lows, and go up and continue up. We are looking for longs on shorter time frames, so if it just keeps on going up, that's not a problem. We are looking for longs on shorter time frames unless it breaks to the downside, and then we'll stop looking for longs and start looking for shorts. This is what I say every day, is that we need to allow the market to tell us when it's time to switch directions. Right now, we definitely do not have a break to the downside at a fib level, so anything we see to the downside, we definitely want to assume is nothing more than a pullback within an uptrend. Put your Fibonacci retracement on just the last impulsive move up, because if it continues to trend, it's only a pullback to the last impulsive, not the whole series of waves. Keep a very close eye on your Fibonacci levels. To me, Fibonacci is the best area for support in an uptrend, or resistance in a, support in pullbacks to an uptrend, or resistance in pullbacks to a downtrend. And moving on to the pound yen. The pound yen finally did engulf to the upside, so at least now we have confirmation that it is making a move to the upside. Just like the other yen pairs, it's either now making a pullback to this last move down, meaning that it's going to go to any one of these three Fibonacci levels and then turn down, making a lower high, or it's never going to turn out at a fib level, and instead it's going to go up and make a new high on the daily. Now we're looking for longs, so it doesn't really matter whether it keeps going up or whether it turns, because we should better recognize either scenario. So anything we do see to the downside, we definitely want to assume is nothing more than a pullback within an uptrend. Current structure is way down here. So if it does start a push down, then we would throw our Fibonacci retracement on the last push up, just like the euro yen, and we would assume that anything we see to the downside is just a pullback within the higher time frame uptrend. The trend is definitely your friend. The daily time frame should be your roadmap to trade around the 1 hour time frame. If the daily time frame hasn't confirmed a turn, then we just continue to look for trades in the direction of the daily on the 1 hour time frame. My job as a trader is not to identify the exact top and bottom on the daily time frame. My job is to go long on shorter time frames every single pullback I see until the higher daily time frame tells me otherwise. The trend is definitely your friend. So anyways, definitely don't forget to check out my website, fxpipcollector.com, especially if you want to follow along with my swing trades and my day trades, and be part of a great trading community on Discord. And also, don't forget to like and subscribe, and as always, thank you for watching, and happy trading.